Where the fish is at? No clams, anything? I gotta pee. Hold on. Just like someone's across the fucking lake, just fucking trying to be weird. All right, guys. So I just recorded a whole fucking video and didn't record it. So the iPhone storage on my shit ran out. This fucking dog over there having an orgasm. What's happening? But I have a little bit of cigar left, but that sucks so bad. But whatever, it happens. Let's get back to it. So I don't even know where I was, but um, someone in my last video said, I think this is where I left off. Always have a cigar with some type of drink. So mine's raw milk. Are you ever gonna see someone have a cigar with raw milk? Probably not. That's why you should watch this video and subscribe to the newsletter in the description. But anyways, let's go. This is a handmade cigar, like I said. I think I said it again. I don't remember. There's an audience right now. I think that's a big thing I've actually improved is actually getting out of my head and just talking, being okay with talking in front of people, and not caring. And I think it's because I've taken myself less seriously throughout the years. I don't care what other people think because I don't really care what I think. I think that's how, I like that. I think that's how it works. I'm so sad. I record the whole video. Whatever. I got the tomato hat on. It's a beautiful, beautiful view in the back. I used to fish here. I haven't fished in a while because, funny story. My cousin broke my fishing rod because it's always in the car. He raised it on the rod was out the window and he raised it on the fishing rod and it snapped. I could fix it, but it's whatever. I never actually caught a fish. I caught a fish once, but I was like fucking 8. But we can have a cigar and fish. We'll do that one day. But welcome to the podcast or this cigar lounge talk thing that I do. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I want to chit chat, sit with like a friend, communicate like a friend, and talk about why formulas are not the move. When someone tries to give you a formula, what's really happening for anything in life? Whether you want a certain result, success in business, certain relationship, what's happening is that, especially in business, right? In dating, whatever, it can kind of work, but a formula when it comes to business is a problem because if you had a formula to build success, why would you give it to someone else? It's as simple as that. Why would you give it to someone else? Because the point of business is creating a value disparity, or is it discrepancy? We're gonna go. I don't know. We're gonna go with disparity. It's about creating a value disparity in the marketplace. So with that comes, you're not competing against people, but your value, the value that you provide, the original and creative value that you provide has to be so much more than what other people are providing. And if you have the formula for that and you give it to someone, then it's not original anymore. It's not creative anymore because everyone can do it. The real problem is when you look for formulas is that why you look for a formula. Why aren't you being creative enough? Why aren't you being original enough and proactive enough and hardworking enough to really develop your own vision and your own purpose and your own work, right? The beauty of a vision is that no one can give it to you. That's the beauty of it. No one can actually give it to you. You have to develop it yourself through, of course, the biggest thing, life experience, books, podcasts, videos, right? So in a sense, people give it to you, but they're not directly just fucking giving it to you. You gotta develop it. You gotta learn to hone your intuition and see what's true and live through that truth. This is beautiful in the background. But this is lit. Just talking to a friend. That dog is tiny. Holy fuck. Little baby. Jesus. Come on. Don't die on me. Can't. Can't. All right. So yeah, no formulas. So what do you do instead of a formula? You truly develop your own way of living. Because let's be honest, a formula, just copying someone else, like, why do you want to live life like that? Oh, fucking burned. All right, I'm at the freaking blunt end of this. Whatever. We're still gonna talk. We're still gonna get on here. Why do you want to copy people? Like, what is the actual point of that? There's no point. All right, so it fucking happened again. iPhone storage full. I can't win. So maybe I can't lose either. So we could just do. This just makes me want to upload this more, even if it's ass. But where was I? I don't even fucking remember, honestly. Um, I feel like I've talked about this 10 times already. So formulas, they don't work. They can't work in theory, like I said. Um, just stay away from them. And I feel like old school YouTube used to be so much better because it was just people being people. Like, I feel like that's what the world is kind of missing. And that's what I want to kind of create. It's just, a place where you can just, whenever you just needed a friend, I think, of course, develop friends in real life. It's actually not that hard. If you just talk to people and say hi, that's the core of what making friends is. And just do things that you enjoy, you can make friends. It's so easy. Um, Now, with this, I just want to, give people an outlet, right? I can share my insights and my stories and all this stuff, and really create something beautiful. So, and that's always what I want to show, that you could just create things, right? That's the essence of what I want to create. It's just the fact that you can just wake up and do things. Really, that's the beauty of it. You can wake up and build businesses and build products and create stories and drink milk, smoke cigars. You can do so much in this life. It's beautiful. There's little girls fishing over there. They're just fishing for fun. It's fucking awesome, right? Like, you can just do things. And sometimes creativity is a challenge, like creating this fucking video. Come on, like, forgot the shit. This shit died on me like 10 times. Um, I'm still gonna upload it, even if it's not good. But I think that's what people want to see, like the errors and the mistakes and all this stuff, and then go on a journey, right? It's almost like you're making a movie, or a TV show or something, right? It's I don't know, it's just fun. But at the same time, like, you're doing that, but you have the intention of giving something greater, of providing actual value. So yeah, and when it comes to formulas, you want to get build the skill of being able to hone your intuition on something, right? Not living so much from what people tell you to do, or what your parents tell you to do, what school tells you to do, but actually living through that direct experience and going out there and developing wisdom, developing intuition. That's like the best feeling ever, when you can, when you when you decide in here what's right. Not, because I go through this when you're forced with a decision, right? You immediately go to what someone else told you to make that decision. That's wrong. I'm telling you. I don't even want to tell you. From my experience, that's wrong. It's not correct. I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to people or learn from others, of course. But at the end of the day, you got to come back to yourself. What the fuck? Now birds having an orgasm. Jesus Christ. Um, but you got to come back to yourself and really hone that intuitive part of yourself, because that's a big part of being a man. Or, if a girl's watching this, big part. No, it's actually a big part of being a woman. Feminine energy, developing that intuition. But especially for a dude, like, I feel like there's so much information out there, so many guys trying to tell you what to do. Fucking with fucking Jocko Willink, or there's David Goggins, all these people, Jordan Peterson. They do good work, but at the end of the day, like, you can figure stuff out. Really, you gotta really figure out that you are a powerful human. Like, I'm not saying that to be fucking cringe. I'm saying that as an observation, and from my own experience in really doing challenges in my life and creating things, that you are powerful. You can decide for yourself. You ever seen a man smoke a cigar like this? It's so small. What the fuck? Um. Oh shit, someone's in there. But yeah, it's probably dead. Whatever. We're gonna finish it. Come on. Yeah, you can develop beautiful things, and that's kind of what I want to see people doing, and that's the value I want to give. The essence is that you can just get up and create things and do things for the fuck of it, for the hell of it, and it's through that process that fuck I burned myself, and it's through that process. That's it. What's up, brother? And it's through that process that you develop um, great things. Like it always starts with just doing stuff for the hell of it. And you think when I grew the tobacco, I didn't um and anything I do, there's so much things I haven't shared yet. But like it never starts with like how I can use this to get more views or do that or do that. Like no, it's not that. It's because I there's an appreciation for life. There's a deep metaphysical appreciation for life. Like I do things not to please people or get a certain result. Even though I may want a certain result, I you got to learn to detach from that. Um, but it's more like I see that what else is there to do? If you're not creating them, what else are you doing? That's the only option. It has to become the only option. The only option is to be creative. That's it. And I think following a formula and a certain way of living, and that's the only thing you know, it becomes a problem. This is, I went to Catholic school as a kid. Um, I was very straight arrowed, and then I moved to Georgia in fifth grade. And then when I saw people living certain in different ways, kids running in the hallways, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Someone's gonna yell at us. And then I started running in the hallways, and then I learned that there's so many different ways to live, and I learned to develop an appreciation for all the different types of ways that people can live. And I just, and now it's like it developed an extreme open-mindedness within me that that no one can take away. I don't get too attached to my way of living. It's just my certain way of living. It's not, of course, I don't want to sit here and give you fucking um, postmodernist, relativistic things, but at the end of the day, like you can live however you want. Um, of course, I would suggest that you live in a in a in a conscious manner. I mean, and be in a creative manner, but do you. This is art. This is done. I can't do anything else with this. So let's throw it in the water. Yeet. Oh, you heard that little splash? You didn't hear it, but I heard it. But let's talk still. Hold on, let me check if this is on for like the 40th time. You don't know how hype I am. It's so on. It's so on. All right, so I finished my milk. I finished my cigar, and none of it was on. Most of it wasn't on video, so fuck it. So let's just talk here. I love playing with these cigar cutters, like that, the fidget spinners. You know, I went up to this girl the other day. Um, I was like, because I was playing with this, and I was like, do other people like this? So she was sitting across from me, and I I gave her this cigar cutter. I was like, just spin this on your finger and see if it's like fun to play with. It's fucking so random, but and she was like scared. I was like, bro, I'm just trying to talk to you, and I wasn't even hitting on her or anything. It was more like, and eventually she warmed up or whatever. But like, um, what I'm trying to say is, don't be afraid of people. Like, talk to people, say hi to people. That's how you make friends. It's just, you know, it doesn't matter what you open with. Really, you can say anything. I fucking started with a cigar cutter, but you can say anything. You can really say anything. And of course, when I say that, say anything, you don't want to take this fucking in a stupid manner, retarded manner. But like when I mean say anything, you can say, why are you wearing those shoes? And then that starts a conversation. And it's usually the dumbest things that make the best conversations, right? dumb things lead to deep things. Like, don't start with deep topics. People at the start, they don't know you, they don't give a shit. But like, start with things that aren't so deep, like a fucking cigar cutter, and then go from there. That was a problem that I had. I always tried to start on deep topics and what's the meaning of life and all that stuff. Um, and you get to that, but at the start you want to start with simple things. Small talk. You gotta get better at small talk to lead to better things and deeper things. And this isn't true all the time. I mean, some people are just fucking tapped in from the start, and they just you can go ham. And but yeah. So how does this relate to formulas? Just like I said, learn on developing your intuition to the point where you could tell when formulas are not the move. You could tell the difference between a formula and principles, right? Because people will give you principles and insights, and that's actually really valuable. But then when someone tries to sell you on a certain formula and there's a little dust all over here, and a way of living, be careful, because that person's way of living may have worked for them, but most likely it's not going to work for you, because you're living your own individual, uh, you know, you're living your own perspective. And I think it's important to develop this multi-perspectival perspective of life, if that makes sense, and gain insights and wisdom from all areas of life, which is why I see the value of traveling and doing different creative things, because I feel like creativity, it leads you to different avenues, and then you can express that and then touch on that metaphysical part of life through your work. That's important. So, um, there's a freaking, what are these called? A little beetle thing. They're invasive, but I never kill them. I don't know, this in my hand. Get them out. Get out. Get out. All right. It's like, what the fuck? What are you picking up bugs for? That's another thing. Like, ever since I started gardening, I'm just not afraid of bugs anymore. Spiders, but I won't pick up a spider. I won't be scared of it, but like, I won't pick up a spider. But most bugs, like, it's like I'm a kid again. Like, I don't give a fuck. But anyways, so yeah. So what's the formula here? The formula is to develop your own formula, to really get after it in life. Like, look, guys, look out here. Look, just sit and look at the view here. Like, you can just go outside and just fucking live life. Really, like, you don't have to wait for someone to give you the call, or wait for a formula to make money, or do any of this bullshit. Of course, like I said, learn principles and values and have discipline, hard work, but these things are a byproduct of um, that greater thing, the greater value of just loving life. That is the greatest value. The greatest value is loving life. If you don't love life, then you have nothing. Um, and I'm glad I learned that early on, because I saw that um, all great things, all great work comes from that. If you don't have that, then you can develop it. Of course, we're going to talk about that. There's so many things. There's so many things. But that's what I'm trying to say here, is that create your own formula and get out there, really live life. Because, look at this. Like, you could just appreciate this for a moment, and then use this to create other things, and then give other people insights and values and stuff like that, and share your stories with people. Like, there's so many stories that we can have here. I mean, so many. Like, this guy was telling me, like, I was fishing here once, and then he said, him and his friends used to fucking drink across the river when they were in school, and now they closed it off, and now that's an abandoned shack back there, and no one's ever been there in 50 years. Like, that's a story. There's wisdom in that. You gotta find it. What's the wisdom in it? It means fucking drink with your friends. You know, it means get wasted. No, but it's just cool. Like, um, yeah, just share things with people. That's I feel like that's like how you use social media. That's how you use YouTube. That's how you do anything. Um, don't consume so much. Of course, still consume because you need those ideas and stuff. And truly share your perspective. And yeah, drink your raw milk, smoke your cigars. But I hope you guys have a cigar right now. I always got to open the talk with that. Um, yeah, get your cigar. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's go. Let's go. You heard it here first. That should be my catchphrase. You heard it here first. So what are some other video? I think my next video is my next documentary, because I have the and just sit down talks, but then I also have those documentaries, and those take a while to make. To be honest, like the Scar video took me like 5 months to make. My next one is gonna be um either bread, because I also grew wheat, so I can make from berry to bread. I make alcohol. I'm gonna do that. Um, yeah, I think my next video is going to be making mastija liquor. So mastija liquor is it's a Greek liqueur, like an after dinner liqueur that you make from mastic gum. So I'm a big fan of mastic gum. I just love the smell. I love the mastic trees that only grow in Greece on the island of Chios. And we're going to talk about all that in the video and how to make uh, mastija. And it's great for, after you eat, great after dinner liqueur for digestion and gut health and stuff like that. So yeah, and again, with liqueurs, even though it's alcohol, you just have a little bit, like a little bit, because what a liqueur is, it's just herbs infused with alcohol. And then, I don't know if you know anything about herbal medicine, but like when alcohol gets is mixed in with an herb, it has a greater potential to extract all of the nutrients and the compounds and stuff like that and create tinctures out of it. So that's what a liqueur is. And mastic gum is great for your gut health, and you can chew on it and all this stuff. It's awesome. So that's one of the videos I'm producing next. So because I've in the past year I've been around a lot of Greek people, so they put me on to the magic of Mustiha. But anyways, um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like this is really improving my speaking skills. Like I can sit here for hours and just talk about anything, really, anything. So we'll end it on. I always want to end it on something with a bang or whatever. So at the essence of what I'm trying to give you here is get after it, love life. We're gonna talk about that more and more, how to develop that. Actually, I'll give you a step on how to uh, how I did it or how I worked on it. Is ask yourself how you can love life. Don't ask me. Don't ask the other person. Don't ask him. Don't ask that. And ask people. But at the end of the day, ask yourself. Ask yourself. And sometimes when you ask yourself, the answer is ask that person. So that's the answer. But ask yourself. Really sit down with yourself for an hour, 2 hours, and ask yourself, how do I develop my love for life? And you'd be surprised at how and what the answers you come up with. You know, there's something magical about this existence, and I think it's good to just talk about it, and at the same time touch on those deeper aspects of life, but at the same time um, talk about dumb shit like fucking getting wasted on the other side of the river. It's that like mixture that is just so awesome to me, like that we're capable of doing fucking dumb shit like fucking throwing ragers or some shit, but at the same time we can also fucking get enlightened. So like that mixture is just like awesome. We can do stupid shit like fucking slip and slide down a fucking massive hill, uh, go on crazy adventures, go on nightlife in Tokyo or whatever. But at the same time we can talk about the meaning of life and all this stuff. So I think that's just cool. But yeah, I think this girl's trying to sit over here. I don't know though. She can just talk to me, but she probably won't, or she maybe will. A lot of people actually, it's surprising because um, once you actually get out and start around people and stuff like that, you realize how pe- most people are friendly. Like it's not like that's a big thing that social media does. It kind of disconnects you from what's actually real and what's actually happening like now. So there's this whole thing of like people aren't as social, they're not this, they're not that. Um, there's the truth to that, but you know, don't don't base your life on what other people have told you. I, that's like the bigger picture of what I'm trying to say is, you know, all these things can be great, but at the end of the day, you got to live through you. You got to be you, and you'll see the joy of that. And that's what I feel like is really being a true human being is just living through your own life and figuring it out. And of course, at the start, you need some help, right? You need that base level. Once you have that foundation, uh, you can really do anything from there because you have that foundation, and then you can develop your own way of living. And then you can share that, not give it to other people, but share your insights and share your wisdom, and share your stories with other people, and that's fucking lit. Like, and create like a TV show out of it. Um, that's kind of fun. Like, I feel like the cigar talks I make are like TV shows, and then like the documentaries are like movies. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, um, sun setting really is lit out here. I wish I had my fishing rod because I feel like I would actually catch a fish right now because it hasn't rained in a couple days. Um, when it rains, fish go to the bottom and it's harder to catch them. You know, but when it's been dry, they're always up at the top. You know, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Um, I wish I was able to smoke the cigar the whole time, but my phone, I actually don't know if. Imagine it wasn't recording right now. I, bro, I wouldn't be able. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. I would probably just get back and fucking record it again. So, anyways, my pen. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next talk, the next TV show. I'll see you in episode 3. Um, usually I puff and say peace, but we're just gonna go with the peace. Peace. Take it easy.